Hey everyone, it's Joelle here, and I am super excited because Megan and Sue from the Spine Breakers came out with this challenge, and I feel like it's the absolute perfect challenge for me to get me motivated to actually read the books on my shelf. As you guys may know, after watching videos that I've been filming for the past year, maybe following me on Instagram and Twitter and all of that, I am kind of an audiobook junkie, but that doesn't mean that I still don't go to Barnes & Noble and buy books when I already have a book backup. So when I saw that they came out with this challenge, I was like, you know what? This is the time to go ahead and read the books. And actually, we're sitting on my floor right now looking at the bottom part of my shelf because the top part of my shelf is pretty much empty because all of these books, there's so many different categories, and I'm absolutely determined. I have 12 months to get through all of these books, and I'm pretty sure I can do it. I was able to complete my Goodreads goal in 2019 of 50 books. I actually did more than that, but I'm gonna go over that in a separate video. But yeah, so Megan and Sue, they came up with this really awesome PDF. I'm gonna link their original video down in the description box so you can download this PDF and fill it out. And then once you've completed it, you send it to them, and they'll review it and everything, and then they're gonna do like a small giveaway. But that's not why I'm doing this. The whole purpose of me doing this is to get me to read my stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna go through each category, show you the book, because I actually have the physical copy of all of these books. And then I'm gonna get started in January 1. All right, so category number 1 is to read the book that you've had on your TBR in the past. As you guys know, I have very painfully been trying to get through Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I don't know why I can't get through this book. Now, I'm sort of cheating because I have started the book, but I barely got into it. So, it's also extremely water damaged because I left it on my windowsill during one night that it stormed and my window leaked. So it's a little water damaged, but that's not why I'm not reading it. I just can't get into the story. So I'm going to force myself to finish it. Oh, the other thing too is there's no like particular order you have to read these things in. It's just read them. So, but anyways, this bad boy, Vengeful, I took the sleeve off of it. The sleeve's right here. I don't like to read my hardback books with the sleeves on them because I don't like it to get damaged. But anyway, it's already almost 3 minutes in and we've only talked about one book, so let's keep going. Okay. Read the book that you've owned the longest. So this was a tough one because I was going through my shelves and trying to figure it out, and technically this isn't the book that I've owned the longest, but I'll show you that book in another category because it fit in a different category. So I'm gonna go with The Fifth Wave. This is actually the movie cover. My sister got this for me maybe like 3 or 4 Christmases ago. Yeah, it's nice and floppy. But yeah, I don't even really know what this is about. But, so that's what we're gonna do for this category of book you've owned the longest, because I've owned it for a while. All right, read a book that is not a typical novel. This category kind of confused me a little bit, so I decided to go with one that isn't my typical genre. I hope I'm interpreting that correctly, but I'm going with Forward by Abby Wambach. Abby Wambach is a former U.S. Women's National Soccer Team player, and now, oh, that's cute. There's like a real life photo. But this is an actual autobiography, so this is not a kind of category that I would read like ever, but I really like soccer, women's soccer. I always liked Abby, so I'm gonna read this book. The next is read your longest book. So I had to go through, and the book that I thought was the longest actually wasn't the longest. I had to look and count all the pages. So coming in at the longest book that I own, aside from Stephen King, The Stand, because that's technically Anna's book, is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Yeah, so this one is 500 something. 550, nope, that's acknowledgements. 552 pages. This is actually a Disney published book too, apparently. I don't know. But anyway, again, nice and floppy and brand new. Cover by sort of. But anyway, yeah, longest book. Shortest book. So again, had to go through and try and find the shortest book that I owned. Naturally, I was like, oh, a graphic novel. Sure enough, this one is pretty short. I don't know if this is technically the shortest one I own, but whatever. This one's 207 pages, and this is Mara Tidebreaker, which is a cute little graphic novel about Mara. She's Aquaman's woman. And yeah, it's super cute. Oh, cute. Okay, yeah, I need to stop looking at this because it's adorable. But yeah, there's that. The next is read a sequel. I'm going to read The Towering Sky. This is actually the third book, but, you know, it's in a series. I'm counting it. It's the only, like, sequel, technically, that I have. Yeah, it's a chunker, but I really like this series. It's, like, each chapter is a different perspective. It's a YA, and it's kind of like a mystery, but also, like, kind of, I wouldn't call it dystopian, but, like, futuristic teenage drama. All right, cool. So read a book that you bought on a friend's recommendation. This one 100% goes to Cody. Brandon Sanderson's Skyward. This totally was purchased because of her, because Brandon Sanderson is one of her favorite authors, if not her favorite author. And yeah, he writes a lot of sci-fi stuff, so I bought it. It was on one of those sales, though, that Barnes & Noble had, where they had like this certain table that was less expensive. So I was trying to justify it. Anna's in the other room, so I'm trying to justify things because she's listening. So we're going to go with that. Okay. Read a book with your favorite color on the cover. Black and black. That would be The Field Guide to the North American Teenager. This is about a Canadian who goes to North America. It's a teenage book. I feel like I could get through this pretty quickly. The font is huge, and it's supposed to be funny. A Canadian who goes to Texas. I feel like I would love this. So yeah, there's that. Next is read a book from your most owned genre. That would be YA. And I'm going to read Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Yeah, this one's been pretty talked about on the BookTube world. So now it's my turn to read it. That book pile right there is scaring me. Next, read a book you've had so long you don't remember what it's about. Okay, so this is the one that technically I have owned the longest because it's pre-Anna, which means that it's at least 8 years old. So this one is called The Witches of Echo Park by Amber Benson. If you guys don't know, I am a diehard Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Amber Benson, this lovely lady here, played Tara from Buffy. She wrote a book. No idea what it's even about. I think it's about witches. We're going to go with that. So, yeah. Totally bought this because she was the author. There it is. Next, we are going to read a book by one of your favorite authors, and I chose Girl in Red by Christina Henry. If you don't know, Christina Henry is one of my favorites. She wrote Alice, and I'm looking up because the books are up there, but I can't see them. Lost Boy, which is the one about Captain Hook and Peter Pan, which I loved. That mermaid one that I didn't even finish because I didn't even like it. But either way, really like Christina Henry. Gonna read this one. Super hyped. Next, we have read a book by an author you've never read before. I chose Sweet Pea by C.J. Skews, and this I got because, and I always talk about her, and now I'm totally blanking on her name, but she read it and said it was kind of like a Bridget Jones's Diary meets like a killer in a way. It's an adult thriller, but it has a little bit of British humor in it, supposedly. Says the last person who called me Sweet Pea ended up dead. So, yeah. Anybody that I mention at all, any channels or anything will be in the description. Sorry, I can't seem to remember who originally recommended this to me, but that was the whole reason why I bought this, and now I feel like a turd. Okay, next is most recently purchased book. I actually don't have it because Anna literally just bought it for me. It's on its way from Barnes & Noble. Long story short, so this is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. A while ago, I bought Gray Sister. by Mark Lawrence because I'm a dummy and bought the second book instead of the first book. So it's on its way. It's coming. So yeah, and that one I totally blame Cody for because it sounds really cool. Assassin Nuns. I mean, yeah. Most recently published book. The one that I grabbed was actually one that I recently bought, and that one just came out. This is Verify by Joelle Charbonneau, another one of my favorite authors, and can we guess why? Her name is Joelle, which is the same name as mine. I have no idea what this is about. Totally just bought it because I like Joelle Charbonneau. I love the color scheme of this book. Like, this is like me on a book cover. Totally cool. You can't fight what you don't know. That's what it says in the back. So I guess we'll figure out what that means. Yeah. Okay. Your least recently published book. So the oldest book I could think of would be Carrie by Stephen King. I went through this phase where I was like, yeah, I want to read all the Stephen King books in publication order because that's like super trendy on BookTube. Well, that shit never happened. But Anna bought me this book anyway because she's amazing. This book was published in 1965. So, not this specific edition, but it is the oldest one that I can think of. Maybe not, though, because this other book could possibly be older than that. Let me check, let me check, let me check. I'm being super annoying, I know. Oops, this one's actually older, but I'm using it for another category, and we'll get to that one in a moment. Okay, read a nonfiction book. Tegan and Sarah High School. I'm so excited about this book. I love Tegan and Sarah. This is their kind of autobiography about the awkward teenage years of being queer and musical and Canadian and all that jazz. So, oh, and it's got awkward teenage photos. How could you not love that? But I'm super excited about this. When they did all of the like promos for it, a lot of people would send a picture of their cat with the book because Tegan and Sarah love cats, but that's a whole thing. But anyway, I'm super excited about reading this. So yeah, my foot's asleep. Read a book that was gifted to you. So last Christmas, my friend Everett bought me this lovely trilogy of The Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So my goal is to read the first one. Yeah, it's still in its shrink wrap. I'm a horrible person, but there it is. Thanks, Everett. We haven't even done our like gift exchange. His present is like literally sitting right next to me. Hint, it's a really cool present, but it's sitting right there and I don't know when I'm going to see him. So yeah. Okay. Read a book that you meant to read last year, like the entire stack here. No, but really, so I chose The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. This one I picked up because of Julie from Pages and Pens, and I just really think it's cool how the book progressively gets darker in color based on the person's personality in the book. I think that's a really cool idea, so yay, there's that. Oh, and here's the next one I just covered up. The next category is read a book that you meant to read. Wait. Oh, randomly choose a book from your TBR. So that's this one, Alice Isn't Dead by Joseph Fink. This is a signed copy from Barnes & Noble. No idea what this is about. It's an adult, kind of sci-fi thriller-esque. And I know it's about a lesbian and a truck driver. And she goes missing or something. So yeah, who doesn't love lesbian truck drivers? I mean, okay. And we're moving on. Read a book that reminds you of someone. So I chose Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This book reminds me of Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. I literally bought this because it was one of her favorite books of 2019, and she would not stop talking about it the entire year. So I got it. 2018, I mean, not 2019. I actually got this for Christmas last year. Fail. Why have I not read these things? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, my sister-in-law got me this book last year. That was a good present. Thanks, Lisa. But yeah, this one. Here's one. I'm gonna read that. Read a book because of the online book community. Again, I blame my girl Cody and Bobby as well. That is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. Bobby was recently talking about this in one of her videos. I think it was like one of her wrap-up videos or something recently. But ever since these chicks have been talking about this, it just seems really cool. I'm not the biggest adult fantasy reader because they're long books with a lot of really complicated terminology that just goes way above my head. Anna is totally into that. I get really lost, but I'm gonna take this one on because I feel like this just sounds really cool. It's about like a group of mercenaries, and when they got older, they all like split apart, but then they all came back together for a common cause of one of them's daughter's missing. There's like every kind of mystical creature ever is supposedly in this book, and it's supposed to be funny, and yeah, I feel like I'm gonna like this, and then I'm gonna make Anna read it, or I'm gonna try and get her to read it. I've already been trying to get her to read it, but she hasn't yet, so maybe if I read it first, she'll read it. I don't know. She's in a really long epic series right now of these giant 700-page books, and there's like 5,000 of them, so I don't even know when she's gonna finish that, but then maybe when she's done, maybe she'll read this. Who knows? Okay, I got 2 more left. Yay, okay. Wait a minute, where did this book come from? I totally skipped a category, a cover by. Where is my head? I haven't filmed a YouTube video in like a millennia. That's why, yeah. My cover by book was this one though. This one I've had for a while. This is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. Totally bought this because it's hot pink and has a gold pentagram on it, and also because it says this on it: for mature audiences only. I mean, if a book has to have a warning in it, then I kind of want to read it. Maybe I'm messed up, but I just feel like this book is like so pretty, and I just really like the side of it because it reminds me of like old school like encyclopedias or something, but it's hot pink. And I love hot pink. I guess this would technically be one of my favorite colors too. This book just covers all the categories as is. All right, we're almost done. We got 2 more categories. Have someone else choose a book on your shelf for you to read. So I had Anna come into the room, and I said, Anna, you get to choose from this shelf, these random 2 books, or these ones. And she goes, that one. So she chose this one because she bought it for me probably. But this is The October Country from Ray Bradbury. And this is actually technically the oldest published book that I own because it was published originally in 1954. Can you believe that? 1954. I'm sorry. 1943. Yeah. Holy cow. That's older than my parents. That's a really old book right there. So, yeah, this is the one that Anna picked, so I'm going to read it. And last but certainly not least, read a 5-star predicted book. And that one is going to Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. This one is about a misfit girl who decides she somehow figures out how to raise the dead and has a whole bunch of zombie friends. It just sounds like a cute little teenage YA book. Will it be 5 stars? I hope so, but I feel like some of these other books are probably going to be better, but in all honesty, all I really had left to read was like some like personal self-help books, and I don't really want to read those. So, Undead Girl Gang. But anyway, that's it for my If You Got It, Read It Challenge 2020. I will probably be doing recaps on these books after I read them. Not sure what the format's going to be. Not sure what my plans are for 2020 as far as how I'm going to be making videos and such. But we'll figure that out as we go because this whole booktube journey thing is totally out of my comfort zone. So we're just kind of winging it because, yeah. But anyways, thank you so much. If you stuck around to the entire end of this video, go ahead and leave me the facepalm emoji because I feel like that's my most used emoji, and I would love to see if you actually made it to the end of this video. If you haven't already, checked me out on Instagram. That's where I do all of my makeup related stuff and just like regular life update kind of things. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you plan on reading any of these books, or if you plan on doing these challenges. I would love to see which books you have in mind. So we're at 20 minutes, holy crap. Okay, let's end this thing. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.